Yo, it's Servitor. I want to talk about the finale of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I just want to talk about the show as a whole. I'm gonna make this a multiple part series, so I'm gonna keep this one brief and under 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna make it like 3, 4 parts. So this first part is about one specific thing. I don't like Nico. I don't. She is the one, and I mean this. She is the one flaw I have with this show. I can't stand Nico. I have nothing against dark characters, gothic characters, emo characters, psychic characters. I have nothing against those at all. I love those characters. I don't like Nico. Now, I don't find any enjoyment from Nico. I don't find any intrigue in the character. I am completely uninterested. I am not yearning for more. Actually, no. There is one thing about her I like. I like her relationship with Harry. Their friendship is really cool. It was really built on and developed, which I didn't see happening in a good way, and it actually turned out to be the best thing about her character. And I think they can develop it into them actually becoming a couple, although I don't think they're going to go that way. But the seeds are planted. Like the way it's written, their friendship, it can really evolve and develop into a relationship. Again, I'd rather them just stay friends because I really like the way it was built up, it was written, and all that. But it works if they make them a relationship. I can truly see that happening in the future. Although I just prefer them to be friends. I won't mind them becoming a couple. But that's the one good thing you're gonna hear from me about Nico. Her with Harry is gold. It is golden. I didn't like it at first, but they wrote it that way. They wrote it to build up. Now, speaking of writing it that way, they wrote her to be a terrible character. They wrote her to be a horrible character. They wrote her to be an uninteresting character because there is nothing about her that gravitates you. Nothing at all. Now, the nail in the coffin for me, for when I just completely zoned out with this character, it reached 0%. Shout out Mob Psycho. It is when Harry leaked Peter Parker being Spider-Man. That's when it happened for me. It was the worst identity reveal of all time. In comics, in manga, in live action, on paper and pencil, and animation. It was the worst. It was worse than Homecoming. And Homecoming wasn't bad. It's just it was followed up with Far From Home. And I got a video coming for why I don't like Aunt May until No Way Home. But that's another top. That's a whole other situation. I can't stand Nico. And then they cut it off. Like it was a bait and switch. And then the next scene came up and he's like, "You're never gonna believe what he was talking about." And then she does way too much. And then the suit is just right there. And Harry's fumbling like, "Oh my god!" I thought, but I understand Harry telling her. It was just how it happened. It was the worst writing I've seen in my entire life. And it was written. I can't even say it was the worst writing because it was written to be that way. It was written to be bad. So I guess they succeeded because they couldn't have written it for you to like it at all. And then Peter. Okay, so it's the finale. No, no, it's the episode before the finale. And Peter shows up with his red and blue suit, his traditional suit, and it's one of the best suits I ever seen in my entire life. This is one of the best Spider-Man suits I have ever seen. I don't care. Eat grass. I love this suit. It is beautiful. So anyway, his traditional suit, he pulls up and he saves her. And she's like, Pete? Pete? Pete, what do you mean, Pete? You just found out bro's identity and now you're looking into the world? And now, let's go 5 minutes later, she leaks it again in an empty alley. Peter? I mean, Spider-Man? What? Huh? I know you probably say I'm going too deep into it. This show gets really mature at times. It gets surprisingly mature and dark. So I really enjoy this show because it has its friendly moments and then it gets all dark and serious. And then you have these scenes where it's just blatantly awful. But anyway, that was. And let me get to the finale. You're mad? You were mad for a whole episode and a half, maybe 2 episodes, that he kept this from you? And then you're hiding that you're an actual psychic, honest to God, who can talk to your dead mom and even see her? And you're like, and maybe I would have given her they're 13 and she's probably guilt ridden on the secret. She's not telling him. But then she goes out her way to leak his identity by accident multiple times. Although thank God nobody was around. But still. Anyway, that's me on why I don't like Nico. I can't stand Nico. Everything about the show is great other than Nico. Nico's relationship with Harry is dope, though. I really hope they expand upon that in the next 2 seasons to come because that's gold. They quite literally written gold there. They just have to keep digging. Everything else about her sucks. But yeah, this show is great. I really recommend 10 out of 10. Yeah, tune in for part 2.